see. Fine gold. That is correct. I hope Karen has these things. Forgot to mute the stream. I almost crossed the streams too. I hope Karen has the thing that fixes my glasses so they go from can't see to see. From sea to shining sea. Today is the recap of the finals between Nakamura and Carlsen. And so forth. Never is correct. Karen and Arch will be walking in a minute. And so on, mainly and so on. I just woke up from a nap like 40 minutes ago. And the nap wasn't long enough. If I don't nap all day, then... Anyway, that's going to be my preparation tomorrow for Eric Rosen is going to be a nap. Yeah. That's at 4 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. So hopefully I'll wake up in time. Can always hope for something. That's right. Rick and Morty starts in 4 hours. The next episode in season 4, I guess. I guess this is episode 6. I'm not sure. I think they showed 5 already. It is not live. It's dead. I was about to go to bed. You went to bed yesterday. Yeah. So tonight is the new episode in Rick and Morty, 11:30 Eastern. Where you are, I don't know. Wherever you live. Then tomorrow at 4 p.m. is my match with Eric Rosen. And then Tuesday through Sunday is the Nations Cup, which has many of the best players in the world playing, including the return to action for Levon Aronian, whose wife passed away last month. And let's see, what else happened? Oh, yeah, then May 9th, also at 4 p.m., is our big tournament we're having with cash prizes. May the cheating commence. We expect 25 title players and 1,000 players overall. Gotta expect something. Yeah, it's Karen. Man, Karen must be a parking ticket because she's got fine written all over her. All right, let's not forget to have lots of trains. The more trains we have, the more money we have. Yeah, exactly. Nations Cup, I think it starts at 9 every day, and it ends at 11:30. There's 2 games. The games are at 9 a.m. and 10:45 a.m. And I don't know if that's every single day, but I think that's the first 4 days. The last day might be different. So that's Tuesday to Sunday. Actually, no, I guess it's, Tuesday to Sunday. Oh, I thought 5th to 10th was 5 days because I'm sleepy. Yeah, it's a 6-day event. The 5th to the 10th. And I think it's from 9 to 11:30 every morning. Could be wrong. What? The Nations Cup. Scam Train would be nice if somebody would give $1. That would help. We have 107 views. You have to refresh your stream if you want to see the views. Also, don't cross the streams. Hans is streaming. Possible raid. It's possible. Anything's possible. In theory, communism works. C.L. Smith. What? My phone agrees. All right. C.L. Smith gave a sub, and Drew gave 201 centidues. I missed Drew today. I don't remember seeing him. We passed 2,100 subs today. First, we passed 2,000 subs. Then we passed 2,100 subs. So... I was talking to Ice Cube earlier. You know what he said?
No.
Today was a good day. Yeah. You know what he didn't have to use today?
Ice Cube?
Yeah, you know what he didn't have to use? His AK.
Yeah.
Today was a good day. See?
Is that one of his songs?
See?
Oh.
His AK. Yeah, that's right. We need another $1. There we go. Thanks, SC Cowell. Crushing it with 399. What percent of those subs are gift subs? Nobody knows. Probably more than 20%. Probably like 75%. All right. We can't get level 1 without a pass or something. Yeah.
What's everybody? You guys just started?
Yeah, we started 3 minutes ago. Now, in your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and again, it's an opinion. It's not a fact. Who do you like better, Ice Cube or Ice Tea?
Well, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
$9.99. Thanks, Drew.
Iced Tea, because he was the one on Law and Order, right?
That is correct. Also,
So I have to say, I like
also,
him.
Ice T was the one in the play Hate His Ball. He was he
Yeah.
was the keynote speaker.
So I like him better.
Yeah. Now, what's funny is most people don't know this, especially Rick and Morty fans. Yeah, like water tea. Okay. So on Rick and Morty, there's Ice Tea, and then at the end he's water tea. It's complicated. And I thought for at least a year that was Ice Tea, but it's just a voice actor. They couldn't get Ice Tea.
Oh.
So it wasn't even Ice Tea being Ice Tea. Terrible. Let's see.
Sugary crap. What?
Well, that would be sweet iced tea, and then you could get unsweet iced tea.
Wait a
That's because in this country we have a choice.
minute.
Yeah.
Well, in the South, really, sweet
Right.
tea is the way to go.
Right. Yeah, sweet tea's terrible. That's the one that Karen likes. I'm already sweet enough, so I have unsweet tea.
When I first moved to Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
and I had never lived out of the South, I would ask at restaurants, "Do you have sweet tea?" And they had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah. That's because of your thick Southern accent, probably.
That was part of it.
If you had somebody ask if they have sweet tea, they're like, sure we do, but you were like, what is that woman saying? Yeah. Karen never put sugar in anything. No, Frappuccino said hi, Ben. Okay, let me ban. All right.
No, don't ban him. Hey, be good, Frappuccino.
Not much of a 50 Cent fan.
3 times
More like
an
Snoop.
hour.
Yeah, Snoop's obviously better, frankly. Yeah. And they are officially changing all older cartoons of Scooby-Doo to be now called Snoop Dogg for obvious reasons. Frankly. Frappuccino can be vegan, but yeah, usually not. That is correct. Does Karen have a thick Southern accent? I thought it was pretty light. It's in the middle. It's an average
it's
Southern
not real
accent.
thick. It was very thick when I was younger.
Drew gave 999 cents again. Now, when we were in Dothan, probably last time, otherwise I wouldn't remember, but maybe, I don't know if it was last time. I don't know if you were with me, but I think so. We went to a drive-through at Chick-fil-A, and man, the guy at the window, now that was a thick accent.
Yeah.
God damn. All right, he showed me.
That's how I used to talk.
Yeah. Do you know Bassem Amin from Egypt? I mean, we haven't met personally, but yeah, we know who each other is. Also, instead of calling him GM, call him GM Dr. Bassem Amin. Yeah. Normally I would say RIP because he got married a couple of years ago, but go Bassem Amin. Yeah, he's a doctor and a GM. He just got married recently, and he's 2,700. Pretty good.
Very
Yeah.
good.
I don't think he's 2,700 anymore, but maybe. Yeah. All right, Magnus is something. That's right.
The greatest.
Mm.
He won.
Well, we don't say that before because people don't know.
Oh,
Like-
sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I think everybody knows.
Nope.
Oh.
They're like, oh, man. I was
Sorry.
Yeah, they don't know what en passant is. You think they know who won the match? Even if they saw, they don't know who won the match. They forgot. Yeah.
Sorry.
499. So basically, this train is just Drew. All
What?
right. This
Aw.
train is just Drew. Drew just keeps donating, and the train goes. All right.
Aw,
Thanks,
sorry.
everybody else. Now, at one point, we had 3,000 viewers on our stream today,
Yeah, that was all.
and we passed 2,000 subs and 3,000 subs. So we've never had so many viewers, never had so many subs. Man, am I full. Actually, sort of hungry. Did you have any chicken?
Just a tiny bit.
What did it taste like?
Chicken.
What were the two kinds of chicken?
Spicy wings and then fried chicken.
Which was better?
I didn't like the fried chicken. I
What
just had
do the
one
kids
spicy
think?
one. I don't know.
Did you get like any of those potato wedges?
Yeah, but they didn't have very many.
Yeah. No, not 3,000 subs. 2,000 subs. We had 3,000 viewers on the stream. Like right now, we have 220 viewers on the stream. Man, so many jokes I could make right now, but I really shouldn't make them. So I'll just pass on by the. If you knew how many jokes I was passing on by, you would
What?
donate. So I didn't feel so bad. So I can tell you later.
Aw.
I can't tell on the stream. All right. Yeah, we have a lot of subs. It's the most subs we ever had. All right, let's get down to the chess because the people on YouTube are getting mad. They don't come here for my witty banter or for Karen's looks. They want to see chess.
We'll have to mute out my spoiler.
What? That doesn't matter. Guess who donated again? Drew. It's the Drew train. Also Dr. 5W, a.k.a. Dr. Drew. You guys, other people can give money too, not just one guy. There are 250 of you here. All right.
Just a little. Oh, it's okay if you're poor. It's you.
That's correct. 1 million views on my stream, 1 million COVID cases. That is correct. Karen and I went to Italy. We came back. You know how it is. Yeah. You have 70 quid in your bank? Ridiculous. You're here for the references. That is correct. All right. So Magnus was white the first game. And as was pointed out by the Gawking Rabble on Twitter, and by Gawking Rabble I mean Super GMs, in their previous match, when they played in round one of this tournament, played round one and the last round, white won every game in the 15 minutes. They took turns winning with white. Okay, so Magnus is white. They played English, the Fianchetto English. Knight b6 is the main move, but hasn't been played much this tournament. 2,000 centidues from Drew. Dr. Drew's having fun with this train. He's the only one who's aboard the train. You think Million Ants is going to show up?
Who?
Million Ants.
Million Ants?
Yeah. I mean, it's Drew's train. You got a train, you got Million Ants. Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know that.
Somebody's going to type Vindicators now in the chat.
Who is that? What is that?
The Vindicators.
I don't know what that is.
Come on, it's Rick and Morty.
Oh.
Come on. I got it. All right. There you go. Vindicators, assemble. That is correct. I am now back to 1 million ants. That's right. I'm now back to 1
it's
million
like
ants.
this cult of Rick and Morty.
Yeah. All right. Bonjour, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys. For $1 billion, who said that?
Is it from Rick and Morty?
No.
Okay.
Bonjour, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys. That's a great line. Let's see if you guys can get it in the chat. There you go. Fraudwith got it. They all get it. Groundskeeper Willie. So the school had no money, so they hired Groundskeeper Willie to teach French.
What show?
Simpsons.
Oh.
Yeah, so the school lost all their money because Mr. Burns stole the oil. They had oil under their school, and then Mr. Burns stole it. So they had no money. So they said, we even have Groundskeeper Willie teaching French. He's Scottish, so.
But I think somebody needs to be banned.
So anyway, he says, bonjour, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys. That's his one thing he teaches, yeah. How come I hate you? 1,000 centidues.
Then he says he likes you.
He gave me 1,000 centidues. He's not getting banned. He's getting praised.
Watch it, Ryan.
399 cents. Now, for 1,000 centidues, you can say whatever you want.
That's not true.
He's the only one other than Drew who's given any money this train.
Okay. All right,
Drew,
Ryan.
can Ryan hop on the train? He's going to insult me a little, but I let him hop on the train for a while. 1,101 centidues, confusing the audience. Gawking Rambler, right? Now, at what time of the day does Gawking Rambler ramble?
Midnight.
That is correct. He's the Midnight Rambler.
Finally got a reference.
Should I ban him? You know why I would ban him? Because he's got to go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Have you got the grease? Grease me up, woman. Okie dokie. That's what you're supposed to say.
Oh.
Simpsons also. Grease me up, woman. 100 centidues. Okay. So this position has lots of games, lots of stuff. And the last time we saw this variation in this tournament, it wasn't this exact line, but it was Fabiano with black getting outplayed, putting his bishop here and here and here. Same pawn structure, then moving his knight back and forth and knight here and basically getting crushed. Okay, so these guys played better. These moves were all very good. All right. And then black wants to play e4, and Magnus said, no. Now he really wants to play e4. So Magnus played knight d2, knight d4, takes. Now this pawn is hanging, and this pawn is hanging. right? I thought Magnus would play knight e4 and then Hikaru would play c6, but Magnus decided to go for this very, 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 very slightly better endgame for white. And the reason it's better is the knight on c4 is pretty good, and the bishop on f6 is not as good. It's sort of blocked by its pawn here. So, yeah. All right. Rook e8, king f3, and Hikaru played bishop g5, which I agree with. The rook can't move vertically, so rook b1. And now he's worried his rook is going to get trapped here, like with something like knight e3. So he played rook e6, which is good. All right, and what's funny is right after the match, Hikaru was streaming. And he was analyzing his games already. He looked pretty happy. I'd like to point out for level 5 hype train, which we have 148% now, we got to over 4,700% on our stream for the hype train. Yeah, pretty good.
Well, he came in second. He should be. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but all right.
Another spoiler. But
That's
why would
right.
he not be happy?
He lost.
Well.
Yeah. All right. Not really. We planned this whole time to trick you, because actually. Okay.
Sorry, folks.
All right, so he played a4. Now, a4 is the kind of move a grandmaster makes all the time, and you guys furrow your brow in a vain attempt to understand the situation. Who said that?
I don't know.
I say it a lot.
I know.
I'm quoting Principal Skinner from Simpsons. What happened is Lisa Simpson's complaining that school is too stupid.
Yeah.
She's like, can't you make school not stupid? Like, make it so like for smart people. Then he goes, yeah, but the stupid kids would be furrowing their brow. That's why they don't do it. Yeah, 200 cent, 300 cent it is. All right. People were complaining, Gawking Rambler, about the coverage on Chess 24. However, before my stream started this morning, somebody in the chat said that their stream was much more powerful in FPS, right? I think that's Fabiano per minute. Fabiano came on the stream every minute. Is that what it's called? That's what it's for? It's not frames per minute, right? It's Fabiano. He kept coming on the stream. Yeah, they said it was like 2, 3, or 4 FPS, and today they added 20 more frames per second. So, yeah. All right. All we need is the Krabappel reference. Krabappel, I've been calling her Crandall. Homer.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been calling her Crandall. It's per second. Yeah, I know. Minutes spelled with an S. If you're Grandmaster, you spell it any way you want. Yeah, Fabiano per second. Look, don't give me, I'll ban all of you. And your children's children. Lousy smarts weather is correct. Yeah. Let's see. I would have watched something. Yay. I never get any. Maybe, I don't know if it's broken or because I already have them all. Thanks, Drew.
One second.
And thanks to the guy who insulted me.
Ryan.
I mean, it was a backhanded kind of compliment. Very backhanded. 1 sub, 9,500 bits. Good. Okay. 1,000 bits to the winner of Feingold Rosen. Might as well just donate it to me now. Okay. So this position, at some point, Black wants to kick the knight out, right? And then Magnus, in his Consuela voice, said,
No.
yeah, you work on that. All right. Who is this lady? Oh, my God. That is correct.
What?
All right. He thinks you're a good-looking woman. That guy. That's also correct. Principal Armin Tanzarian. That is also correct. That's Principal Skinner's real name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was, like, considered the worst episode of The Simpsons ever. That's easily the worst. So some guy comes, he's like, I'm Principal Skinner. And they're like, what? Like several years into the making of the... And it turns out he was a POW. So Principal Skinner's mom is like, Seymour? And he's like, yeah, sure. The guy who come to tell her that he's dead. So then the rest of the series, he's Principal Skinner. Then the real Principal Skinner comes. Okay? Then at the end of the episode, they don't like the new ones. They just kick him out. And then the city makes a ruling they can never speak of it again. So you never speak of it again. Yeah. Yeah, I actually like the other Principal Skinner. He was pretty funny. All right, Lisa the Vegetarian, that's a great episode. That has many good lines, such as Smithers, I think I'll donate $1 million to the local orphanage. Then there's a pause. When pigs fly, then they laugh, and a pig flies by their window, which I can explain why, but it take a long time. And then Miss Smithers says, are you donating that $1 million now? No, I think I'd still rather not. Come on, that's a great scene. Come on. Also, she's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
And they're not vegetarians on The Simpsons. So they have a barbecue and they're cooking meat and she's in her room crying. And she's like, well, they don't have to shove that meat into my face. And Homer flips a burger and it lands on her face. Yeah. Come on, that's a great episode. What's wrong with you guys? Paul McCartney on the roof, though, that is correct. Paul and Linda McCartney are in that episode. Yeah, they actually are.
I haven't seen that.
Right, and then...
Which season was that in?
Well, 25 years ago.
Yeah, I saw
and then, when Linda was alive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they have you can buy vegetarian stuff from them in the freezer section if they still have it. But anyway, in that episode, they meet at the Quickie Mart. And then Apu says, I was known as the fifth Beatle. And then Paul McCartney says, sure, Apu, sure. And then Paul says, Lisa, do you want to hear a song? Yes, Mr. McCartney. Hit it, Apu. And then Apu sings, I'm Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And Paul McCartney seemed to like it. Now, Karen used to like Paul McCartney. She used to. And then she heard the news. She heard the news. You know what news you heard? You're going to be so mad now when I remind you of something you forgot about. You ready?
I'm thinking of the song.
No, that's not. I threw that in as a distraction.
What?
When he said the Bare Naked Ladies were great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were like, what? He was so mad. It's like, man, I wish I could sing like them.
I mean, they're just mediocre.
All right, he said they were great. All right, 10,000 holes in. All right, Paul McCartney died in 1966. That's when my brother was born. All right, back to the game. So
everybody just likes the name.
Instead of allowing B5, White played A4. Not only does that stop B5, but now he can push his pawns, and this rook looks less stupid. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, this game should be a draw, but White's slightly better, obviously. Or as we like to say at the GM level, I shouldn't tell non-GMs this, White is clearly slightly better. That's different than slightly better. All right. So nothing happens. Pretty good game, I think. He breaks on through to the other side. And now instead of taking this pawn, he plays the excellent rook b5. Very good. Okay, king g6. And now f4. Magnus, something in the way he moves attracts me like no other. All right, Grandmaster. Now, if you remember his game yesterday with Ding, okay, he was black, and and Magnus played queen e8 with his queen on c6. Mm-hmm. Then White made a move, and then Magnus played c5, and Ding played b takes c5. I'm sure you remember that.
Not really.
Okay, that was the game Ding won. And after c5, bc5, White's pawn structure was ruined, right? And so Magnus has a way of ruining his opponent's pawn structure. Because if we go back, okay, Black's pawn structure, I wouldn't say it's shallow and pedantic. It looks like the same as White's pawn structure, right? Mm-hmm. Magnus goes here ruining the pawn structure, b6. Then he goes here ruining the pawn structure here. You can't let me play f5 check. You can't let me take. If you check here, now you have your rook attacked and your bishop attacked. And if you were a small child, you would say, and the pawn's attacked. Because that's important too. All right. So he has to take on Passant, right? Mm-hmm. Now look at Black's pawn structure. Pretty bad. Now, for those of you who don't understand en passant, like the guy yesterday that Karen was just wailing on. God, Karen, Jesus. Anyway, when I give a simul to terrible beginning children, if I have an en passant capture, I look at the kid and I say, do you know what en passant is? If they start crying, then I don't take en passant. If they're like, how can you insult my person like that? Of course I know what en passant is. Then I take en passant checkmate, winning their queen. Okay. So What's funny is this actually happened here. Magnus said, Hikaru, do you know what en passant is? And then he played up. Okay. All right. Yeah, see? Karen roasted the en passant man. Yeah, that's right. That is correct.
I didn't mean to.
First of all, she said, he's just kidding. He knows what en passant is. The guy's like, no. Then she's like, oh, yeah, I used to be a beginner to know the rules too. Man, she just kept getting them. God damn.
Well, I didn't
God
expect
damn.
somebody that was new to chess, because if you don't know,
Man, she's roasting him again.
if
God damn.
you don't know en passant,
Now she's roasting
you're
me.
new to chess. I didn't
Right.
expect them to be a sub already.
She's still savage. You're still roasting him. See, and I was going to say, when I was 5, I learned the
Yeah.
rules. And when I was 5 and 6, I played in tournaments. I played blitz with my dad and brother. I didn't understand en passant for years.
Well,
I was like, en passant. I moved my eyes back and forth. Like, I know what en passant is, you know. Je parle français. You know, and then I stopped taking showers. I mean, I tried to do everything I could to pretend to do en passant, but it didn't work. Karen, stop. He's already dead. That is correct. That guy's never coming back to the stream. Yeah, I remember when I was a beginner, and I didn't know the rules either. Why is he on there streaming? What's going on? Yeah, that's right.
I thought he was trolling you.
Oh, man. Karen got him good. I was like, no, Karen, he doesn't know en passant. Yeah, he knows. Guy's like, no, I really don't. Oh, yeah? Well, then you suck. And I was like, wow. Man, I couldn't believe it.
No, I thought he was just trying to get you going.
Yeah. Dominic's like, what's en passant? That is correct. Right? Also, what is raise? Hey, Dominic, did you read my story on Twitter? So a guy that I knew, he knew a guy, and that guy had a wife, and the guy taught her how to play poker. She won a poker tournament. Somebody asked her, why didn't you raise this hand? And she said, what is raise? And she won the poker tournament. So there you go. Raising is overrated. Yeah. Man, Karen insulted the guy's mother for not teaching him en passant. That is correct. Yeah. Oh, you saw that? Yeah, tough game. That's right. Those were tough games. Didn't know what raise was. That's right. No, my favorite thing that could ever happen in poker that wasn't related to me, like obviously if I take down a $2,000 pot, then, okay. I'm playing at a poker game. The oldest woman on earth shows up, okay? And she sits down and she has the biggest purse you've ever seen. Like a woman who's 90 would have that purse, right? She opens it and she plays, and we're playing. And then she goes, raise. And she opens her purse and takes out more money, which you can't do. So we all just started laughing. So when the woman who's 90 takes money out of her purse to raise, then you fold, right? She'd take the money out of her purse if she don't want it. She wants that money back. So we all folded and laughed. I raised just a second. Take some money out of my purse. Like, damn. Yeah, her hand was pretty good. we fold. I never saw anybody take money out of their purse to raise. That was good. I mean, this one guy, but that's a different story. Okay, she might have had it. That is correct. Yeah. Like in bridge, it's well known when the older the people are,
Yeah.
they're going to do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
See, like I'm young.
Laughing.
In bridge, I'm young. So I'm tricky. Old people aren't tricky. When they say I'm making 4 spades, they're making 4 spades. They're not, that means they're making 7 spades.
Yeah.
Right? When I say 4 spades, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to stop you from making 4 hearts. Yeah. So that's why they're called LOLs. What's LOL in bridge?
I don't know.
Little old lady. Yeah, or little old ladies. All right, 300 IQ bluff. That is correct. All right, grandma's got the nuts. That is also correct. In poker, the nuts is the best hand. So grandma has the nuts.
What does it
That's
mean
correct.
when you flop the nuts?
Okay, so in Hold'em, you get 2 cards.
Yeah.
Then there's a round of betting. Then when you're done, you put 3 cards out in the middle. That's called the flop. So after the flop comes, let's say the flop is ace, 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 and you have an ace. That's the nuts. Not necessarily, by the way. I could be wrong. But okay, so the nuts is the best hand. So on the flop, if you have the nuts, you flop the nuts. Then there's the turn in the river, right? Right? And your favorite poker book is Ace on the River
Okay.
by? I'm going to say 4 people in the chat know it. Only 4.
I don't know.
Let's see what the chat says. Great book. See? If you have the nuts, you reach for your purse to raise. That is correct. Magic Man knows. Barry Greenstein. Not Amarillo Slim. Yeah, Barry Greenstein. Yeah.
Deep purple.
Yeah. Barry Greenstein donates money to charity, so I don't like him. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So Doyle Brunson used to be 1,000 pounds. Then he had the surgery, so he weighed like 300, and now I think he's back to 1,000. And he's like 170 years old.
Who is he? A poker?
Yeah, famous poker. Yeah. And what most people don't know about him, 90 years ago when he was a teenager, he was like the track star in Texas. But when you see him now, he's not a track star.
Oh.
Now he sits like this. Right? And he still flops the nuts. Yeah. Not his own, because. All right. Stu the Kid Unger. That is correct. All right. Doyle did write Super System. And then what was the next book he wrote? Super System 2. Yeah. Sort of like Body Bags 2. Right? Coming Home in a Body Bag. And then the next movie was Body Bags 2. No movie that's from. True Romance. All right. All right. There's the references for you guys. Where's the train? The train left the station. Okay. Now, in this position, all these pawns are weak. And so he's got to defend some of them. You know, can't just lose all your pawns. So he played bishop d8, defending this pawn. Rook d5, attacking this pawn. Bishop f6, defending this pawn. Now, the problem is, if white keeps attacking the pawns with his rook, black keeps defending. So, to paraphrase Val Kilmer, what did Magnus say here? I got 2 rooks, 1 for each of you. So instead of doing this, he used this rook. Bam! Now he's going to attack this pawn, and if necessary, he'll double up on the bubble up and attack this pawn. Right? Okay. Rook a8. Rook takes b6. According to the engine, this move is quite bad. And now black is equal. The engine says white is better with the simple rook b4 defending his pawn, or rook b5, instead of taking these shallow and pedantic pawns, taking this pawn, and then this is a passed h pawn. Now, what's funny about this match is you see that he has double b pawns, you agree? Mm-hmm. In the last game of the match, he also has double b pawns all the way down here, right? All the way. Oh, maybe it was here, right?
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, you'll see. It's coming up in a few games. All right, let's see. 2108, yeah. Hikaru said both players didn't perform well. No, I think the match was pretty well played. He always says that. Good England. What? Is that a quote from Family Guy? Everything is a quote from Family Guy. All right.
Keep going.
Karen's had enough.
No. Proceed.
Mm-hmm. All right, what movie? Baba? Proceed. That's tough for you guys too. It's not a line in the movie you would remember. I just know every line. So.
Is it one of your?
Yeah. Yeah. Baba, proceed.
Blazing Saddles.
Nope. Danny said you're off to the en passant roast. God damn. Yeah, that one's tough for you guys. No. Tombstone. Drew is correct. Yeah. He's getting shaved, and then Val Kilmer has got to go kick some ass. So he goes up there, and nothing happens. He goes, okay, Barbara, proceed. Yeah. Proceed, saw. Yeah. Proceed, sir. He might have said that. Wow, I have to watch the movie again. It's been like a year. What is the prize fund? Do you know? That is correct. The only good line in Spaceballs is even in the future, nothing works. Funny line. In the future, nothing works. Mm. Although, supposedly, Spaceballs is making fun of Star Wars, and Star Wars happened a long, long time ago. Although in Family Guy, it said happened a long, long time ago, but somehow in the future.
Yeah. And
then one of the episodes, it said after MASH, but before after MASH. So that was another thing that it said. Okay. Tombstone or Unforgiven? Come on. Kasparov is playing? Sure. Oh, Kasparov's playing in the Nations Cup. He's not playing. He's like a captain or something. So he's doing nothing. He's getting a paycheck for doing nothing, basically. Sort of like when he steals money from his foundation because he's working. It's like that. Okay, big scam. All right, so he played rook takes b6, and after rook a4, the engine says white has nothing. He's all talking a badge, right? What movie? They mentioned it in the chat.
I don't know.
Untouchables.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what De Niro said to Kevin Costner. Yeah, true story. You know who De Niro played?
Al Capone.
That is correct. Did you see the movie?
I did when it first
okay.
came out.
Yeah, that came out a long time ago.
I mean, I haven't seen it since.
Yeah. Luda. Okay. What don't you know? I don't know. Let's see. Dominating the conversation. That is correct.
It is his dream.
What? One guy keeps telling me I should shave. Isn't that your job? What?
What?
Shaving me?
I mean, I don't do a very good job.
You did good.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Gary will be competing. Incorrect. He's a captain. He's not playing. All right. Back to the game. They traded rooks because the rooks were on fire, right? Mm-hmm. The rook is on fire. All right. So now we have equal pawns, equal everything, pretty drawn. The engine says all zeros. Now, one of the super grandmasters, I think it was Grishuk, but it might have been Svidler, said when they get to an ending and the engine says all zeros, Hikaru loses half the time to Magnus. Man, he got him good. Man. And so here's a good example. Now, one thing you guys will never understand, no matter how many times I tell you, when it says all zeros, that doesn't mean equal. That means if two supercomputers are playing, they're going to draw. Okay? Every grandmaster in the world takes white here. Okay? Because these pawns are pretty weak, and these pawns aren't as weak, and this knight's better than this bishop. So it's a draw with correct play, but you take white anyway. So it's sort of equal. Yeah.
Okay.
Casablanca 11 is
Yay.
rating. That's right.
Casa.
Thanks, Casa. Yeah. Should we do Casablanca trivia now? Okay, who played Victor Laszlo? What actor? $15. Thanks, goddamn 23. Hi from Italy. You know what time it is in Italy? Yeah. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, I don't remember. We've talked about it before, too.
Let's see.
I can name some different, actors.
Claude Rains is incorrect. He was in the movie.
Sidney Greenstreet's in it.
He's in the movie. Yep. Who played Victor Laszlo? Somebody's looking it up now, then they're going to type it.
Is it that German
No.
actor?
No. Billy Zane. That's a funny answer. Bogart is incorrect. Ingrid Bergman's really incorrect. She's in the movie at least. No. Paul Henreid. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get that.
Yeah. Claude Rains was... By the way, when I asked my mom and Wes who's the best actor in that movie, they both said Claude Rains. Now, that's a movie. That movie has a lot of good actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that
Yeah.
movie yet.
Now, what was Claude Rains shocked at?
I don't know.
Very famous line. I'm shocked that there's gambling going on here. And then when he said that, the guy came and said, "Here's your winning, sir." It's hard. The truth hurts. Man, he was shocked. Bill Burr, Idris Elba, famous British actor Billy Zane. That's funny. Okay, you're winning, sir. That's correct. Now here's a good thing that most people don't know. The play it again, Sam. He didn't say that. At no time in the movie does he say play it again, Sam.
I think he just says play it.
Yeah, you know it, play it. You know what to play. Yeah, but he never says play it again,
Yeah,
Sam.
I
You know,
knew
that's a
that.
famous line. He never said it. Yeah. Frankly, terrible. Now, one thing you don't know about Casablanca is at the end of the movie at the airport when they're face to face, Ingrid Bergman and Humphrey Bogart. Also, you don't know the secret ending, which they showed on The Simpsons, but that's different. Humphrey Bogart's standing on a box because they want to show him being taller than her, but she's taller than him. But he stood on a box, then he was taller than her. Or is it taller than she? Exactly. All right. Yep. They don't amount to a hill of beans.
Than her.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. That's right. Rick plays chess in that movie. That is correct. Taller than whom? Than whom? That is correct. Ingrid Bergman. Yeah. All right. So the game concluded. And this should be a draw, and so on. And here, I thought they were going to draw. I thought it would go King E2, Rook G1. Then who would clap if that happened, if they repeated like that?
Gary.
Correct. Geary. Very good. Yeah, Geary's like, come on, what's going on here?
I gotta know. Does that count as me getting one right?
That is correct. Instead, he played Rook B3 defending. Now, White's pretty passive here. King F2, Rook B3. Okay. So he's counting on the kindness of strangers to, right? Right. Did you want to go get from the fridge?
No. What?
The kindness of strangers.
No.
From, what's that from?
I don't know.
A Streetcar Named Desire. And who's the lead woman?
Um.
Stella! I just told you. So I think I might want to get a Stella.
Oh no, I'm
See?
good.
It's all a rich tapestry. Streetcar, Stella. See, there you go. Yeah. You've always
Let's see,
counted
it's
on
Marlon Brando. Wait, who is the woman, the lead?
That is correct.
I forgot now for some reason.
Marge Simpson, that is correct. Yeah. Very good.
Who was the lead?
All right. Now, one of the reasons we're able to stay in the business is we've done some other stuff that's not chess. We're not supposed to talk about it because Georgia law. But one thing we do to make money is, for example, last week, we shipped 500 hamburgers to Marlon Brando's island. So, yeah, it's the Simpsons line too. Yeah. That was funnier when he was alive. Now it doesn't make a lot of sense. Not Stella. I know it's Blanche Dubois. Leave me alone. All right. I'll bet you're good at pub quizzes. I don't know a lot about pubs. I'm from America. Okay. Hey, 888 Dominic, look at this guy's handle. Should I ban him? Or is he your best friend?
Wait, where?
888, 888. Come on. That's too many eights. He's got to be friends with him. Otherwise, Yeah. All right. So the game continued. Knight D6. What? Look at the guy above you. 888 AKKA 888. It's like 4 chats above you. Come on. Should I say it in German? Come on. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I didn't know you could customize the rewards.
What? What are rewards?
And
No
actions.
idea. Bitte, baby. Palindrome. Who says bitte, baby? What movie? It's one of the movies. It's one of the 5 families.
I don't know. You just tell me.
Blazing Saddles. Yeah. Sheriff Bart says it.
I'm going to watch all these movies.
Yeah. Then he says, bitte,
And
baby.
study all the quotes.
She's the Teutonic Titwillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Yeah. All right. Jerry Maguire. Boo, boo. It's twoo. That is funny. Yeah. It's twoo is a really funny line. That is good. All right. My mom doesn't like Blazing Saddles because near the end of the movie, it gets really, really silly. They like break character and they're in like the movie studio and it's getting a little suspicious there. Mongo like candy. That's correct. Yeah. Inventing the candygram. That was the real bitch. Okay. Karen is so funny. She is the greatest straight man ever. Now, in Abbott and Costello, right? You got Lou Costello and Bud Abbott.
A million years ago, yeah.
Right, but one of them is funny and one's the straight man, right? Mm-hmm. The straight man got paid more. That was considered more difficult. Mm-hmm. So that's why you're the better comedian of the two. Mm-hmm. All right,
like
drive me off this picture.
George and Gracie.
That's right. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
There you go. All right. Class is dismissed. Marx Brothers are better than the Three Stooges. That doesn't mean I don't like watching the Three Stooges more. Come on, leave me alone. All right, back to this game. Magnus's knight has been too good for too long, so he's going to put it on e4. This is still the first game. This stream's going to go like 5 hours. Okay.
Get it going.
Mungo is pawn in Game of Life. That is correct. That is what he said. Okay, so this position was equal for quite a long time. Quite some time, just equal. He's trying to confuse you, Magnus, by moving his knight around like this. That's pretty good the way he did that. All right, still equal. What? All right, and I'll show you when he makes a mistake. Okay, now in this position, Black's king and bishop are lined up on the bubble up. And this pawn, I guess, is also true. So White would like to go here, but obviously he can't because Black's rook is there. Mm-hmm. So if you move the rook away, then White can go here. And he did move the rook away. So you shouldn't do that. The engine says any other move is better. Move the bishop, move the king. But he played here, and now he was a little tied up, right? Sort of like, Madeline Kahn in Blazing Saddles, a little tied up. All right. See, it's hard. He can't move Vishwa nothing. All right, he's still drawing, but now it's difficult. Okay. Still a draw. Still good. Oh, man, I didn't realize during the game Magnus did this. I didn't realize that. I mean, he moved his knight like 100 times and it just went to these two squares. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, rook here. Okay, now king g4 is asking for trouble because now you're not defending all this stuff. You're just sort of coming in. So that's slightly risky. This is a little risky, right? Safer would have been king g6. Then he's defending stuff. So this is a risky move, but you move your king up in the endgame, I understand. Now, it's all attacked. Bishop e5. Is that the engine move, bishop e5? No, actually he should play king f5. Yeah. But it's hard to move your king back in the endgame. King f5 is still a draw, all zeros it says. This move sacrifices a pawn, but all these pawns are hanging. So, Hikaru thought, I'm good. The blind tyrant subscribed. Good. All right, so now white's finally a pawn up, finally, and the bishop's attacked. And Hikaru wasn't worried. Hikaru played king f5. Now, I didn't say this during the game because the action was fast and furious, but now I have some time. This reminds me of the famous game, Fischer-Feingold. What year did they play?
69.
That's the year I was born. No, 63. Okay. And what was the opening?
It was French.
That is correct. Now, when they got to the bishop and pawn ending in my dad's game with Fischer, my dad was black, and he played king e7, attacking Fischer's bishop on e8. Then if Fischer moves his bishop, my dad goes back to d6. But Fischer didn't move his bishop. Fischer moved his king up to e5, attacking my dad's bishop. That's what happened here. So he played king f5, attacking the rook. If the rook moves away, I can just take this pawn. But Magnus didn't move the rook away. What did he do?
I don't know. Move the knight away.
Well, your rook, you gotta watch your rook.
Well, you could defend.
Slayer has gifted a sub. Thank you. You could move your knight here and defend. That is correct. Those moves are okay. He played king e2. That's why it's similar to my dad's game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And now the pawn is defended.
Oh, yeah.
And as I pointed out in the stream, if you take this with the idea of king takes, then Zwischenzug. And it's also a desperado, which is sung by who?
Oh, a couple of people. Eagles and Linda Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt? Desperado? I thought the Eagles worked for Linda Ronstadt. What's going on here? She should sue them. I don't know the Desperado by Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah.
It's just her?
Yeah.
I don't think people know about that. Mike Klein. I don't think Mike Klein sings Desperado. Okay, the Eagles suck. Should I ban him? Also, is it Spencer? Yeah. All right. What television show do they talk about Witchy Woman?
Seinfeld.
That's right. And what do they call it instead of Witchy Woman?
Witchy Woman?
That is correct. Man, Karen's getting them good now. Okay. All right. So after king e2, possibly overlooked by Hikaru, possibly, rook g1, rook h5, and white's a solid pawn up. So that means in this position, Hikaru shouldn't have played bishop e5. He should have played king f5. It was his favorite mistake, or maybe Magnus's favorite mistake. All right. Now this position may also be a draw. Maybe. Okay. Now, if he was amazed, but only maybe, then who would he be?
Amazed, but what?
Maybe.
Oh, Wings, Paul McCartney.
That is correct. When I drove up here, they were playing a Wings song, but it was like they were practicing. So it was like Paul McCartney on the piano, and there was no. That's I'm serious. You like
yeah,
that.
I like
Yeah,
that
you would have liked this a lot. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Okay, so the engine says there's 3 reasonable moves, right? This is not reasonable because rook check wins the bishop, and Hikaru played the worst one according to the engine. Okay, king f4 doesn't like that one. Okay, now that pawn's good because I said so, right? Yeah. That's why Hikaru's board 3 for the U.S. team, because I said so. Did you like that joke? It was pretty fobby, I thought. All right, rook e1 check, rook e3, put it in h, Yeah, unfortunately, white's putting it in H. And the truth hurts. All right. Now, in this position, imagine, if you will, the pawn is here. Then you would play rook, check, and queen. Right? So the engine wants to like hide the king here so there's no rook check, but you lose anyway. But he played here. And now this is really nice what he did. Watch this trick. It's not really a trick. It's just a simple trick. Simpsons. Here, then he checks him. Then he checks him again, and then he skewers. It's pretty. That's good. Let's go puzzle rush, right? And then this is an easy win, but Hikaru made it easier. And as I pointed out on the stream, if you play a move like rook takes pawn, now it would be a draw. I take the rook and play king d6. So you have to take this pawn when the king's already on d6, or when the king can go to d6. So in this position, after king here, white wants to play rook e8 check. And then, obviously, the king can never go to d6 because it's going to be on the f file. So Hikaru has to play either king here now. I was shocked when he played bishop e3. Shocked there was gambling going on, right? Yeah, now it's an easy one. You check the king away from the d6 square. Yeah, and then he resigned here. So if you move the king somewhere, it doesn't matter where, I put my king here or here, rook here, and I take this. Yeah, and you have to play king here after you take,
Right.
which would be slightly illegal. Yeah. So when Hikaru played bishop e3, that wasn't putting up tough resistance. You have to play here and here. Now, who had the album Resistance? Should I let you muse it over?
Muse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
All
know
right.
music.
What? All right. So, yeah, ridiculous. Okay. So this made it 5-0 for white in the 15-minute part of this tournament, not including the Armageddon from the first round and the matches between the two of them. Hey, the guy got muse. Does D8 work as well? No. Okay, so we'll get rid of the legal moves. All right. Right. This isn't distant opposition because the white king gets 2 squares in front of the pawn. Okay. Distant opposition would be this position or this position. So this is a draw, but now with the king in front of the pawn. Now only king d6 draws. I can't do it. I'm too stupid. Why are you so stupid? Okay, so this is a draw if black can go there and it's white's move. Here white wins. White just moves the king anywhere and wins. However, this would be a draw. Now, if it's white's move, this is an obvious distant opposition.
Obvious.
But let's pretend it's black's move.
All right.
Black has 5 legal moves.
Yeah.
Which one draws? One of them draws.
Let's see.
Yeah, curb's good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you gotta guess. Distant opposition. Do it. Keep distant. You know, like with COVID, distant. Keep 6 feet away.
I would say king c8.
That is correct. King c8 is a draw. In this position, king d8 is a draw. If it's black's turn to move. And you can see this ending, although it was a knight pawn, obviously, in the game Karras Fischer from My 60 Memorable Games. There's a Karras Fischer game that ends like that. They get like this position, and like Fischer goes here or something. Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that. Ridiculous. Okay, man, Mubak giving the score, taking away some of the... All right. Next game. I need to go through my endgame course with Chessable. That is correct. All right. According to the internet, Bartholomew's about a 3-1 favorite to beat Craig. That sounds about right. And I am not a GM.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to change the name of the tournament next year to I am never going to be a GM. That's going to be hosted by Lawrence Trent. Oh, snap. God damn. All right. Why King D8 losing? Because white makes a queen. White plays any king move and wins. The king's 2 squares in front of the pawn. Learn your endings. All right. And after you learn that king and pawn ending, Kieran has something to say to you. Learn en passant, bitches. God damn, doesn't know king doesn't know. Yeah. Yeah. Sunscreen for that sick burn. God damn. Remember, the more you donate, the more I make fun of Lawrence Trent. That should help. Next game, Hikaru's white, and Magnus played the Hikaru variation. Okay, Hikaru's always black in this position, and white always plays c5, so Hikaru's like, all right. And now Magnus played a move that heretofore nobody had played against Hikaru, knight h5, winning the two bishops. If black doesn't play that, white plays h3 and has a retreat square for his bishop. Okay. And the game went the same way as Hikaru's other games, except Hikaru's white. And black has the two bishops. And white's dominating e5. Okay, so I would say that black outplayed white because white gave up the a file by playing the move rook b1. Not a fan of that move. And then in this position, where I think black is obviously better, Magnus played a very bad move. Very poor. In a lot of the Hikaru games from this tournament where Hikaru was black, he was playing b5 and the b4 pawn was weak. So he would attack this pawn and he would sometimes win the pawn, and this rook didn't have open files. Black has the a file. The engine says black's a little better. But Magnus took on c5, unleashing the latent potential of the rook and weakening the c pawn. Now I can play knight b4, queen a4, knight e5, and you can't attack my b pawn because I don't have a b pawn. Okay? There's only one thing I can say about taking on c5. Greatest player who ever lived. All right. It's funny. This is a true story, based on a true story also. About, 6 months ago, Karpov was talking to Kasparov. This actually happened. And Karpov's like, man, he was actually talking. He's like, me and Kasparov, we would just crush Carlsen. Carlsen's no good. And then Kasparov's like, no, Carlsen's good. No, he's pretty good. But Karpov's like, Carlsen, terrible. So, truth hurts. Yeah, I mean, BC, not very good. See, Karpov's older than Kasparov, so he complains more. So,
I mean, all those old guys think the younger guys.
See, there you go. Yeah, and the young guys think the old guys are no good. So it works out great. It works out really well. Okay. Also, anybody who's between the ages of 25 and 120 is a boomer. I'm not sure how that happened. It's about 100 years in there. Not sure why that is. Okay. Young guys don't even know en passant. That is correct. It was fun watching Trent tilt. Okay. Yeah, Karpov wouldn't play BC. Play B5.
We're never going to get Karpov.
All right. Never going to get it. Never going to get it. All right. So white's obviously better here. Black can't do anything. And again, this looked like Carlsen was white when Carlsen was black. Okay. So I explained during the stream why knight here was better than knight here. Mm-hmm. Do you want to quote me everything I said about that? Say no.
Well, I know that you want to move the queen.
Mm-hmm.
And so you
That's
have
right.
to move
That's
the
right.
knight on d3 for that.
If I want to infiltrate with my queen or penetrate, then you can't leave this knight here because it's hanging.
Right.
So knight here makes more sense than knight here. The two other reasons are, in the resulting position, you'd rather have this knight here than this knight here. This knight defends the d pawn, and this knight can go to g5. So much better to play knight e5. Didn't Carlsen beat Karpov when he was 13? No. 200 sen to do's, but thanks for making something up. That was good. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. Okay, and Hikaru decided the knight ending was likely winning, so he played the knight ending. Now, you know you're playing badly when you play the moves that I suggest. Okay, I was like, oh, this is a good move. It turns out that's a horrible move, and this is a good move. So Carlsen played my move. And I don't know if white's winning after GF. And the reason I thought this was good, and then I realized I was wrong, is if black ever plays knight e6, the idea behind taking with e-pawn, I can take it. And I thought white tries to win this way, but black can also do that. Well, not here, and then it would be a draw. But white just walks in and hits it here. And then it's an easy win. And I was like, oh, I can just do this. And so you can't play knight e6 ever, which makes e takes quite bad. G takes good drawing chances. E takes no drawing chances. And now Hikaru had great technique because he just, black can't do anything. Yeah. If you take this, Okay, which way do you take, with the D pawn or the F pawn? I'll take some period while you're looking at it.
All right, let me think about it. Let's see.
Now, I think Karpov in his prime would buy a car and pick Carlsen up at 3:30 every day. And Karpov in his prime, god damn. Go Karpov. Anything? Anyone? So if you take this, which way should white take?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You can guess.
Okay, with the F pawn.
That is correct. Take with the D pawn, then black has to pass D pawn. So you'll never win. Take this way, your king saunters in, king F4, king G5, and black's position shallow and pedantic.
I was looking at that, but I didn't know if the king was going in that way or around this.
Notice it says plus 62 with F takes and equal with D takes, right?
Oh, I should have looked at the little cheat sheet.
Well, no, I didn't play that move. That's he couldn't look. All right, so he played knight F8. Doesn't matter what he does because white's going to come in and win now. He could play knight B8, but then I just walk in. You can't challenge me because then you lose your G pawn and all your other pawns. So.
Hey, I'm going to get something from the fridge real quick, but you keep going, obviously. Do you want anything?
From the fridge?
Yeah.
No. Okay. How about a streetcar named Desire?
Be right back.
And then he resigned. And the game ended. A very Carlsen-esque victory from Nakamura. Confusing the audience. Wikipedia, Karpov made a baby cry, en passant. Karpov would grind Carlsen. Hey, what Karpov and Carlsen do in their spare time is none of your business. I'd still go D. Always go for the D. That's what she said. It's dime bag. No wonder he's a dime bag. Hey, did you get poly done yet? Come on, man. If poly's too hard for you, you can do Karma Police. I'll give you a break. What? Talking to Dime Bag. Dime Bag wanted me to suggest a song for him to do, like to cover. So I said Polly by Nirvana. Then he said, oh, I was 14, I did that. That sucks. He didn't say that, but he was thinking. I don't know if he plays. I don't know if he sings. I don't know. So I suggested Karma Police if he can't do Polly. I don't know. Have you tried to get Imperia to sponsor you? Trying is the first step to failure. I got it done 24 years ago. That's what he said. Yeah, but what about Karma Police? Hikaru played like Feingold except for one thing. All right. Of course I've played Hikaru. I'm a grandmaster. All right, game 3. So in this position, which we saw before, right? And then C5. Okay. This was actually the last game. Now he played bishop E2, which we haven't seen this tournament. And in this position, look at this novelty he plays. He plays knight G5, confusing the audience. Okay, knight G5, what? And I thought he wanted to go to E4 because, thinking's not my strong suit. And after B5, he shocked the world. Remember the shocking move that Magnus played here? It was shocking. And as somebody named Benjamin, I know shocking.
Yeah, I think he took the E6 pawn. Maybe?
Bam! Yeah. And then he typed in Zoom to Hikaru. Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, because I remember thinking, I didn't understand.
Now, that's not a great move. It's okay. But it's obviously his prep because he's moving quickly. All right. I think he should take the bishop and then play bishop D6. But what he did worked out for him. Now he shocked me again and played knight E4, confusing Karen. Remember when we talked about this? If knight takes knight, queen D5 check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, now here Hikaru made a mistake. Hikaru should keep his bishop. He's one of the super GMs who likes his knights. Frankly.
Terrible. Probably
because he plays Bughouse. So he should play bishop E7 and or whatever. But he played here, and now he got rid of his 2 bishops. What else? Okay, and he took a pawn, and then he played rook F2, a la Karpov-Spassky. And, by the way, Grishuk, I think it was Grishuk. I don't think it was Fiddler. Grishuk said something really interesting. In this position, He said this was the move of the match in this position. This is the most boring move in chess history. And he said this was the move of the match. That's how super GMs think. He played bishop b4, stopping the pawns from moving. To Grishuk, that was the greatest thing ever. Yeah, because this is a 2-1 pawn majority, but now it's as useless as a Nevada boxing commissioner, right? I didn't say impotent because we're on the air. And now this is pretty lucky for white. Why is it lucky? Because we talked about this on the stream. It's fortuitous.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. All right, that means lucky. What movie? You're right over there. STL Chess Club is rating with a party of 38.
Yay.
I think you rated with 38 last time. Consistent.
Got it.
What movie?
I don't know.
Tombstone.
Okay.
All right. Meek Mills. That's also an interesting answer. Yeah. Grishuk had a tie on today.
Oh, yeah?
You know what he said? I'm a new tie wearing. Oh, Simpsons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he really have a tie on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a tie. Yeah. They're gold, Jerry. Gold. Okay. So Grishuk really liked bishop b4. He was like, wow, these pawns can't move. Right now, even though white only has an extra pawn, his 2-pawn majority is looking good. Hikaru's majority now looking very good. Richard Dawson donated $4.99. Give me a kiss. Richard Dawson. That is correct. On Family Guy,
Yeah.
they go on Family Feud, and then it's Richard Dawson,
Yeah.
and he does Peter, then he does Lois, and he like, you know how he kisses him like on the cheek, like
Yeah.
Lois like grabbed him, and
Yeah.
she's like, no, I've been waiting for this for years, and then Lois showed him. Yeah. All right. Kramnik is the captain of the team from India. That is correct. That's a spicy captain. 600 viewer dues, no donations. Terrible.
That's all right.
By the way, we should start another
Train.
train. Let's get the train going. Let's get the train leaving the station. All right. So Magnus' plan is simple. Push the pawns. 4 pawns to 2. Don't let these pawns move. So far, so good. All right. So they move their kings up because they're good at chess. All right. And then Hikaru wants to trade all the pawns off. He says, if you're moving your pawns off, we're going to trade them all off. Then it'll be a draw. Frankly, ridiculous. All right. So that's what happens. And now what does knight e5 threaten as he takes another sip of his Perrier? It's Drew's train. Drew's like, this is my train. Anybody? What's black threatening?
4. Let's see. Knight c4.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So he played b3. That sort of puts the kibosh on that. All right. All right, now he's threatening the pawn. Good, good. He defends the pawn. Now, remember when the bishop stopped these pawns? Mm-hmm. Well, Hikaru was like, wait a minute. Your bishop's doing yeoman's work over here. So he played a5, which is a mistake. He should have played knight e4. Knight f4, knight ef4. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, if you remember game 1, when Carlsen was white, there was double pawns on the b line, and his rook was, rawr. Mm-hmm. Instead, he played rook b5, attacking the 5th rank.
A collinear.
Then he played rook d5 and tried to get the other rook to b5 and so forth, right? Well, here he did it again. Mm-hmm. Because everything's when things are lined up, and I'm always doing this, then you punish.
Yeah.
All right, Jaywalk Scott, do it. Somebody else give 100 centidues. So now he retreated like a Frenchman, but he's a Norwegian, right? Mm-hmm. Rook d5. And obviously, Hikaru didn't see that. Hikaru was like, if he takes this pawn, I'll take this pawn, and I have a passed pawn. And after rook d5, it's a retreat. Those are hard to see. Now you lose all your pawns, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now Magnus was pretty excited, so he turned on his favorite Beatles song. And when I tell this joke, you'll know what it's like when God has a gun.
Favorite Beatles song.
Yeah, he really liked that move. So what Beatles song did he turn on? That is correct, Honky Blood. Norwegian Wood. That is correct.
Hey,
All right. He's like, God damn.
that's not nice.
What? What do you mean? What was wrong with that? Yeah. Strawberry Fields Forever. Boo, boo. We are the champions. I said Beatles. Boo, boo. Come on, ridiculous. All right. That's also my favorite song. He doesn't get it. Okay. All right. Now, isn't it good? Norwegian wood. All right. So now he's going to take everything. And you know Hikaru didn't see this because now Hikaru thought forever.
Yeah.
Right? And he's probably swearing to himself in some language. Okay, so A4. And then, now, Rook G5 isn't what I would have played, but it's probably better. He wants to play knight check and take the bishop, right? So Rook G5 obviously stops that. And white wants to put it in H because we have that emote. And then the knights are tripping over themselves. As Mark Dvoretsky would say, the knights are superfluous.
Oh yeah.
Right. What would Big Al say?
I don't know.
He'd say they're super. Thanks for asking. All right. Yeah, superfluous. See? Yeah. All right. Incongruent. Boo. Boo. All right. 100 centimeters from Paducah Zoo. Where's our train? It's too early for a train? No, it's too early. I tricked you guys with the train. Shallow and pedantic is also acceptable. Okay. So Hikaru took this because he wants to make a queen. Now, during the game, I was confused. I was like, wait, can he queen? Right? But Rook takes B5. So you can't queen. Okay, so he played knight F8. If king takes knight, knight E6 check. Pretty tricky. Pretty sneaky, sis. Okay. And now the pawn is going to queen. So he played bishop C3, and then B4, bishop B2. And now I was shocked and appalled at the move Hikaru played. I gave a long explanation before Hikaru moved as to why he couldn't play a move, then he played it. And also I was right. That's the weird part. I said, Carl can't do this because of this. Then he played it. I was like, what? And then he lost. And I was like, well, yeah. Okay, so the engine says knight 8 E6. And that's ridiculous. That just loses. And then he played it. I was like, what? So you got to play knight here. You're still losing because 3 passed pawns is 3 passed pawns. Okay. And instead he played knight here, losing out of hand. You just check and take the knight. And this is obviously winning. Ridiculous. And the engine thinks for a while and says, yeah, okay, it's winning. Never mind. Horrible. I mean, these 3 pawns. Yeah. These are useless. Ridiculous. All right. And the game concluded with him getting 7 passed pawns. Damn. It's harsh. All right. Threatening here, here, here. And Hikaru found the only way to stop it.
Resigned?
Correct. Yeah. That was pretty good, right? No. And remember the first game when those pawns were here? And I said in the other game, the pawns were up here. And you said, what? See, now,
I remember now.
Double B pawns everywhere. Double B pawns to the right of them. Double B pawns to the left of them. Shattered and sundered. Stormed at with shot and shell. He that had played so well, right? Who wrote it?
I can guess.
Yeah.
Sir Walter Raleigh.
Close enough. Alfred Lord Tennyson. And what's the name of it? Yeah.
Is it Charge of the Light Brigade?
That is correct. Yeah, see, those guys got it. Yeah. Half a league, half a league, half a league under. I can't get the scam train going, so I'm asunder. Did you like Bishop B2? I did. Look at that. Look how he blockaded that, right? Terrible. Okay, now, when they played their first match over 2 weeks ago in this event, white won every game. Then they did the Armageddon, and black won when the arbiter was like, "Hey Hikaru, hey, look at me," and then Magnus won. You guys forgot about that controversy, right? So the arbiter actually had some problem with his brain during the game, and he thought he was Mr. Meeseeks. So what did he tell Hikaru? Look at me, okay? And then Hikaru's like, what? And then Hikaru lost. Terrible. Mr. Meeseeks is that blue guy on my phone.
I know.
All right, good. Anyway, so now that there's less cheating, Hikaru has a better chance. So after the 4 white wins in the first match, this match, we also have all white wins. And the last round, Hikaru has white. So this is for white to go 8-0 in their 15 minutes, matches. Okay. So they transposed to a Cambridge Springs, your favorite city in Pennsylvania, except for one thing. It's not your favorite city.
No,
No.
I'll be
No.
right
You
back.
like Philly, you like York.
Well, Philly's
Do you like York?
Not really.
Yeah. A funny story, Karen used to live in York, Pennsylvania, and Peter sort of did too, sort of. Like suburb, maybe not in New York, but close.
In that same area?
Yeah, same area. Peter Giannatos, a.k.a. That is correct. Giant anus. That is correct. All right, you guys, remember you're not donating enough. It's a Kirkland, Mr. Meeseeks. That is correct. Existence is pain. We don't live so long. That's right. Now, the reason the Meeseeks couldn't get their job done with Jerry, what did Jerry want them to do? They couldn't do it.
I don't know.
Get 2 strokes off his golf game. Then eventually they did. So, okay. Yeah, improve his golf game. 2 strokes. These guys aren't as dumb as they seem to be. Now, don't forget, in 2 hours and 45 minutes, new Rick and Morty. Episode 6, Season 4. God damn. Okay, so instead of playing DC, the most complicated line, he played here, transposing into the Cambridge Springs. Now, when I have white in the Cambridge Springs, I play a very boring line. The Super GMs, they do this when they have white in the Cambridge Springs. Then it's very interesting. Kasparov won many brilliant games in this line. But Hikaru played like I did. That's not good. Right, and this is what I do. Now you're threatening the bishop. Now, this position's important to me. I've had it several times. Let's go back. Okay, now Karen, what game am I showing you? Somebody in the chat, what game is this? Somebody in the chat. Anybody, anyone. What? In the chat. Actually, knight F3 is wrong. Somebody in the chat, do it.
Maybe they did already.
No, I'm not there yet. Okay. All right, what game is this? I'll give you guys a hint, 1992. Was that a good hint?
Yeah.
What, 1992? Okay, I'll give you another hint. It's the game where I play Queen H8 check, sacking my queen, and the guy resigned. Does that help?
Not me. I'll help somebody.
And spelled Fisher right and Spassky wrong. Oh, well. You already said it? Oh, I missed it? Let me see. No, it's not Feingold Gelfand. No. Feingold Gelfand's wrong. Okay, I'll give you another hint. This is the last hint. It's Shabalov, but it's an anagram of Shabalov. God, worst chat ever. Queen H8 check, 1992, anagram of Shabalov? Come on. Are you kidding me? God, Billy Zane? Man. Chavez.
Bola something.
Shakira. Man, you guys haven't looked on the internet yet and found the answer? God. It was played in Capella Grande. There he is, Balashov exclam. That's right, Balashov. Yuri Balashov. Right. Now, when I played Bishop D3, pay attention. When I played Bishop D3, my intention was to play knight E2. Okay, but he played Queen A5, and this looks like that Cambridge Springs. The knight's here, queen's here, bishop's here, right? And the Cambridge Springs, as you saw in the Nakapuki game, okay, after takes, my bishop's attacked.
Yeah.
So I played knight F3 here because, I watch it. Okay, and I won brilliantly with Queen H8 at the end. If you don't know Feingold Balashov, like, what's wrong with you? At the end of that game, I gave him the sugar me do. God damn. I played a move that you guys dream about, except I actually did it. Can you believe? I've shown the game before. Terrible. I sacked my queen on H8, and then that was the first time I said, gotcha, bitch. Yeah, sounds like Balashov in Russian. Okay, now back to the actual game. Back to reality. All right. Back to whatever it is I was doing. Okay. So in this position, Queen A5 is played, but the knight's defending the bishop. CD is the most common move. He played knight D2, which is what I play. And now after takes, one of the things I do in chess camp to trick the kids, right, other than put poison in their food, is instead of knight, I say, do you play knight C4 or bishop C4? And the kids go, knight C4? And I say, boo, boo. And he goes, bishop c4. And I go, boo. And he goes, knight c4, boo. Then they start crying. It's great. Okay. And the reason is this is the threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't tell them that. I just, right? Now, if the kids were good at chess, they would say, Grandmaster Feingold, sir, that bishop is attacked. Your moves are shallow and pedantic, right? Then they get a raise. Okay, lesson over. That is correct. So the right move is to take the knight. That's what Hikaru did, not hanging his bishop. Okay. And I've had this position many times. Now, when I was streaming earlier, I told you guys in 1988, I lost a game in this line. It's the last game I remember losing in this line in St. John, February 88. I don't remember who I was playing. Guy was like 2250. So, all right, that was my bad memory of this line. All right, so the game was quite boring. And that bishop f3 is, what's the word, inaccurate. Also inelegant, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, my English is how you say inelegant. What cartoon's that?
One of the usual ones?
Yep. My English is how you say inelegant.
No.
Simpsons.
No.
It was a German guy. The Germans bought the power plant. Mm-hmm. So the Germans go into Springfield to buy the power plant, right? And they meet with Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns doesn't want to sell the power plant. So he says, it's $100 million, right? And they have a briefcase full of money and they're counting in German. And they go, well, we'll still have enough money left over to buy the Cleveland Browns. So they buy it for $100 million. So he says, okay, we accept. So Mr. Burns goes woohoo and starts jumping around. He says, I grudgingly accept. So he sells the plant for $100 million. Yeah. So then the Germans take over and they realize Homer's not the best employee, right? So that's when he's telling Homer what a bad employee he is, and Homer feigns ignorance. And he says, my English is how you say inelegant. So, all right.
They're asking.
Hold on. Don't worry. We are from the land of chocolate. The land of chocolate. Yes, what?
Do you like which Rick and Morty, Family Guy, or Simpsons?
Yes.
Which is?
That is correct. They're all good. I'm not going to, ridiculous.
I have a favorite of those three.
Well, Family Guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're my wife. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I don't like this move. It's inelegant. See how this is lined up on the bubble up? Mm-hmm. Remember when the bishop was here?
Yeah.
Now bishop's not here. Mm-hmm. That's why weak players are weak. They make moves that ruin everything, or as Stewie would say.
Ruined.
That's correct. They ruin their position because they're trying to do something and they don't see what they're undoing, and it becomes their undoing. So bishop a6, obviously Hikaru sees bishop a6. All right. And it's the move that you want to play in this position. The queen's gambit, you want to play e5 or c5. e5 is out of the question, so c5. If you trade everything, you win 70 grand. So he trades everything. Okay, now we can't play b5 right away because this move and all the pieces are hanging, right? All right, so he takes this first. Now if you take, which he didn't, now you play b5, and this looks like Karpov doofus. This is Karpov doofus, like many times over. And black's position is shallow and pedantic. Terrible. Ugh. Positionally incorrect. All right, so instead of, after DC, Carlsen makes a Zwischenzug. He doesn't allow b5, he plays bishop takes c4. Now, Hikaru realized this was very equal and he needed to win, so he was pretty upset. So he thought forever. He played queen b5. Wait, I thought he played queen b5. I'm getting trolled here. Oh, okay, now I play queen b5. Now, after queen b5, I was like, this is equal. Magnus is going to draw easy. And I was reading from some list of, And here, Magnus thought 6 minutes and played a very bad move. Okay. Queen e5 is a good move. Rook b8 is okay. Play queen b8. And he saw takes. Rook c8. If he takes this, it's a dead draw. So c6 here. And in this position, obviously I'm threatening this, right? See? Mm-hmm. So he plays here. Now Magnus made a mistake. He played king f8. Right? He traded and played king f8. After king f8, I could go here. And if you take my pawn, I check and win all your pieces. So if the king is on g8, you can't play knight here because then I take, and there's no check. So king f8 probably should have played knight here, but he didn't. He played this. Okay, and they got this position. This was correct. And it's like 50-50 white wins or a draw, so queen b8 was terrible from Magnus's perspective. All right. Knight g3 is not a good square for the knight. You probably should have gone to d2 to go to c4. Now Magnus should have played f4, tripling white's pawns up on the bubble up. Okay, but he played g6, also good. All right. Now I was confused during the game. I was like, doesn't knight here and knight here like win this pawn? Okay, and the engine was like king f1. And I was like, what? Why aren't these moves good? And then Hikaru hooked me up. He played one of them. I was like, hey, great, now I can find out why. And then Magnus said, you're all talking a badge. He played king here. And I was like, why can't I take this pawn? What's happening? And I missed the black threat of bishop h4, attacking this way. So if you take with a knight, which he didn't do, bishop h4, and white loses all of his pawns, and the game's a draw. Obviously, rook takes is ridiculous because the knight's defending the rook, so g5 or something. Okay, so he played knight d3, defending, attacking, coming here. Rook here. All right. And in this position, I was shocked and appalled at what white did. I thought white had excellent winning chances. The engine agrees. White's up a pawn. Once again, white's going to win. White won every game these matches. Hikaru's playing like Magnus again with squeezing. And then he made a move I was shocked at, played knight e5, allowing this trade. This is probably closer to a draw. I'm not going to make the joke I usually make because you hate the indigo girls. Okay, king d7. Now, king g2, according to the gawking rebel on the internet, on Twitter, is a terrible move. Okay, they say he should have played h4, stopping the black pawns from marching, right? h4, and the engine agrees h4, because you see what Magnus did in the game. Rawr,
Yeah.
right? Okay, even moved his pawn like a knight. It's pretty good. Okay, after g5, it's not easy for white to win because white's trying to get his king in here, but, I mean, can't. If the king runs over this way, you lose all your pawns. This is an A pawn, and this pawn's not defended. So white has a lot of problems now. Okay, always repeat. Good. All right. And in this position, he made the move to make sure he would never win. A6. And this is basically the end of the match now. The reason A6 is bad is when the pawn was on A4, A5, which it was earlier, rook A5 was never legal attacking this pawn. You could attack the pawn. Well, now you can attack the pawn with rook here. You have to play F4 to defend it, but then black's pushing all of his pawns. Now Magnus saw that. He saw if he played rook A5, F4, G4, white could play king G3, and white has good winning chances. So before he played rook A5, Magnus played the correct H4. Now when F4 happens, he can play G4. So this was excellent. And then that's what happened. Rook here, F4, G4. And it's a draw now, because now black checks forever. The king has nowhere to hide. Who sings that? Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide? Supremes? Chiffons? All right. And you can't take HGFG. Probably black's winning now. I don't know. It's pretty good, right? The engine says draw, but I'll take black. Okay, so Hikaru knew it was over. So many tears he cried. All right. And draw by reputation. Yeah. So Magnus got his pawns up here all up in his grill, and he couldn't get his king up. According to the gawking rebel on the internet, white should have played h4 in this position instead of king g2. h4.
Yeah.
Right, stopping everything. And then white has good winning chances. And one thing that could happen is black could play h6, g5, but then I could play h5, and that pawn's pretty strong. If the rook ever starts taking all these pawns, I got that past h pawn. So h4, good winning chances, and instead he let black just improve his position, and white didn't improve his position. White did nothing. Not only did he not improve his position got worse because he allowed rook a5. So unfortunately, that was a terrible ending for Hikaru because he very close to winning that game and forcing a blitz playoff. And the worst thing was we had to stop streaming because that was less money for me. That's probably why he did it. He's like, Ben's made enough money. I draw. Terrible. Who won the final? I don't know. So Magnus wins 2.5, 1.5. He won the semifinals 2.5, 1.5. Very suspicious. Magnus is the best. The Magnus Carlsen Invitational, won by Magnus Carlsen, brought to you by Magnus Carlsen. That's what Grishuk said. Or maybe Svidler, I don't know. Then, I don't want Karen to laugh too much. On the internet, some guy on Twitter said Svidler, obviously the best commentator on the internet.
What?
You agree?
They changed the score thing. Well, I'm sorry, what now?
What? Svidler, some guy on the internet said Svidler, obviously the best commentator on the internet.
Svidler?
Yeah,
Who said that?
some random guy.
Oh.
I think his first name was Random, his last name was Guy. Can you show why rook, check, king, and take pawn h7 is bad? I better put the pawn back on h7. All right, so here. Okay, so he must mean here. All right, so check. That's why Magnus played king d7. He was ready. He didn't want to go back to the back rank, right?
Yeah.
So he played king c6. Right. Now this king wins this pawn. This rook wins this pawn. This pawn goes here. Draw. What does the engine say? Draw. Yeah, king goes here. Yeah, now you got an extra double pawn. This pawn's safe. This pawn's not safe. Yeah, this should be a draw. C'est pas différence. So Magnus beat Hikaru, damn. That is correct. Grishuk's a great commentator, even when you spell Grishuk wrong. Favorite candy? I don't know. I can't have candy. The candy I don't eat. Love the Grishuk accent. Still spell Grishuk wrong with all kinds of mistakes. Terrible. All right, come back tomorrow for the spelling test. Don't forget, in 2 hours and 29 minutes,
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, new episode. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, Feingold Rosen. Be there or kindly be square. The more you donate, the more I'll beat Rosen. We'd like to thank our sponsor, but we can't. Or can we?
Trying to learn edit en passant, Nightbot.
Yeah. Is an illegal move that Kara made up so she can swindle noobs. God damn. That is correct. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the cheers, which are bits. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the donations. We have 2,110 subscribers, the most we've ever had.
Yay.
Yeah, that is correct. It's like stalemate. Another rule that, yeah. Wins you go against Rosen. I haven't said it in like a minute. 4 p.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.